Yeah. We put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.
There's one of them is like a YouTube or Tupac.
It sounds like a snowfall.
Yeah, facts.
Snowfall with that.
Yeah.
Franklin or somebody bumped in the whip. Y'all watch Snowfall?
I got Franklin Saint, yo.
Holding the dark skin, what do you call it?
Yeah, DSS.
DSS.
Dark Skin
Society.
Yeah, Society, yeah, man.
We definitely.
He'd be good to get on the pod too, though, for real.
Nah, he be dope. He be dope.
Man. You know, we're here, episode 43, Clocking the Podcast. Your host, Austin Hamilton, aka A-Ham.
Co-host, Marshall Hampton, aka Saturday. So, we here. I like how you did it. I like that. I like that. But I'm not gonna do that.
Clock in.
Yeah.
Clock in.
Let it rock.
Like this vibe. Nice little summertime pop down or cookout.
You know we got the crew here.
We on our hustle, our grind and our hustle.
What up, bro? Andrew, you know what it is. Appreciate y'all, man. As always. Episode 43, man. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Special day for myself being a father. This is the first year that I've. Yeah, right? No, this is year two. This is year two. Yeah, y'all know why I'm confused. But we'll get into that at some point. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all listening in, watching. You know, on all the DSPs, YouTube. Check out the YouTube, Instagram, liking, posting, sharing, commenting, all that, man.
Reviews, all that. You
know, if you see us, I had another instance where I was in McDonald's, like picking up a Happy Meal or something. I'm in the bathroom. I had on the clock in mask, and dude was like, "Clock in, like the podcast." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." I forget who he's related to, but he was like, "Yeah, man, I've heard about it." So
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's in Herndon, man, for sure. They know about us, and that's how it should be, man. You know, start local, and as we grow, man, we'll continue to put Herndon on the map, and people will be proud about it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's all love. We appreciate y'all wherever you're listening at. All over the world, literally. We got fans in UK that tap in. Canada,
Spain,
all over, and we're gonna continue to do it for y'all, man, because that's what it's about. So,
no doubt, for sure.
We're here, man. Episode 43. Let's get it.
Shout out to the fathers, man. Like you said, yeah, fathers. We don't really get. We don't really get love like that as men, when it comes to holidays. And that's cool, I'm not
we don't do it for it.
Yeah.
But that's how it should be, man.
Yeah, you should.
The moms, they do all the work, dog. They did all the work. I mean, carrying a baby for 9 months, like, that's different, man. My mom did that 5 times.
She would have had more. She'd have one day if she could.
Facts.
Probably.
Facts.
But
I couldn't do it. I'm soft.
Got it.
I'm soft.
I definitely couldn't do it. I see videos of what goes on. No, sir. I don't even like getting shots, man. Dealing with basic checkup stuff where they gotta poke and prod you. So Nah, I mean we're definitely not trying to minimize the role of women and mothers, but this is about the fathers, man, and their contribution to the world and society, which we'll get into. But gotta plug some things real quick. We all have our own individual brands and collective brands outside of Clock In, so want to just shed some light on that. Because y'all may need, their services, or, they may need your talent and help and support. So, first and foremost, want to shout out Andrew and his content creation brand, Tia Womack.
Oh, that works too. I wasn't even trying to go with that one.
That was a little golf clap. That wasn't
that's a different.
Yeah,
the shorter jump.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
That one was drawn out.
Yeah, thank you, God. I didn't even mean to do that.
Yeah. It's not the typical,
It worked.
Award show applause. That was a little golf clap. I like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to KCQ Marketing and what she does on the social media side. Shout out to Mr. Foley and his videography. So if y'all listen to episode 42, you realize like Nico he's elevating.
Yeah, he's getting better, man.
We all elevating. But Nico has a great opportunity to work with some really great things and great people. So shout out to Neek, shout out to Grussel.
You already know.
Top
We
producer
on
of the
our Russell,
DMV.
us grinding our hustle.
All the beats.
That repeated the echo was tough.
That is me.
I don't think I even really noticed that.
Nah, we gonna put you onto that soon.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gruss, man.
I like
He's
that.
responsible for all our drops, the beats, and if y'all are artists or maybe you need music for videos, content. He can do it all, man, and he has his own site, Grussel.com, right?
GRUSSLE.
We on our Russell, us grinding our hustle.
The Goods Basketball, that's the Hamilton Brothers business. So we just launched a partnership. We got to get a Goods drop.
Nah, for sure.
We definitely got to get a Goods drop.
For
But
sure.
yeah, we just launched our partnership with Worldgate Athletic Club and Spa. So that's our home. Any individual training, group training, camps, clinics, team training. If you have ideas about leagues that you want us to take the lead on, hit us up. Follow all our social media handles. So at the Goods Basketball is IG. Twitter is the Goods B-Ball, and I think Facebook you just type in the Goods Basketball and it should show up. And then OTA, Overtime Athletics. So that's where we record our podcast, and they give us the opportunity and the privilege to just come in here and record when we want to.
OTathletics.com. Check them out. Summer camp season. Get those kids out the house, man. Because I know they be annoying. So get them out the house.
And they've been locked in the house all year for virtual school.
Yeah, get them out the house. Man.
So they really
they
need.
get tired. Get them out the house.
Yes. Because parents, y'all need that nap time. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
You need that nap time.
I'm a parent. I hear you.
You need that nap time, okay? And they need to just socialize again.
Yeah, man.
They didn't have recess. This is all right. Think of it this way: this is their recess time that they didn't get all year. Make up for it. Sign up to OTathletics.com. All over the country, they have franchises and reach camps. So, and if you're interested in starting your own franchise with them, look into that as well. Lastly, when it comes to plugs, Patreon. So Patreon gives creatives, brands, companies the ability to offer subscription packages. So real quick, want to run through ours. Again, I'll do this every episode just so y'all know what you're getting. So for $5.10 a month, and that's not a coincidence. My number was 5 and his number was 10 in basketball, so that's why we did that. You can
If you want to add it up and give us 15, do it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. We're not going.
I ain't mad at
We're
that.
not going to give you the money back.
I ain't mad at you.
You can come to one live recording a month. And if you're not in the area, we're looking into a live stream option, so stay tuned on that. Behind the scenes content, We're going to have one monthly bonus episode that's called Clocking After Dark. And that'll be where we're a little bit more, unfiltered, raw. Federico may be a little bit too much for the regular episode. You know what I'm saying? There's some times where I probably should just have my own.
Keep it
separate,
to Cedric.
Yeah, I'll be Cedric from. I'm gonna be Cedric during these episodes. Okay?
If anybody don't know, Marshall's middle name is Cedric.
Yeah. So
do you know about? Nah, I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah, we got my girlfriend Aaliyah here. We didn't shout her out, so she's here. But yeah, man. Bonus episode, weekly, clock in like motivational newsletter. That'll probably start in July. We'll see, maybe sooner. Live show VIP. So we're trying to set up at least one live show, podcast, event, something along those lines a year. Our goal is to do something this summer, maybe the fall, depending on timing. But subscribers would have VIP seating, and then lastly, like a community board for supporters to just kind of talk about ideas, feedback, ways that the podcast has helped them, things that you think will help us. Just a way to collaborate and communicate with one another. So check out the Patreon, and I should have given the URL. I didn't do it in the last episode, but it's Patreon. That's patreon.com/clockin. So that's how you get there.
Nick will have that on the
YouTube. So make
check
sure
that out.
Yep, and I'll probably put the link in bio. Actually, what we'll do, I'll add it to the link tree.
I'll put it in all the DSPs.
Yep.
that bio too.
Yeah, I need to remember to do that and add it, and then you can do that as well. So all right, that's it for plugs. Let's get into some stuff, man. So NBA playoffs is here. The LeBron Lakers.
According to you. Hold on. Now they LeBron Lakers because they lost.
The LeBron Lakers.
Come on, man.
Because all right, we'll be in the crib, right?
Come on, dog.
And I'll be like, Lakers are playing tonight. He'll be like, LeBron's playing tonight. Like, no, the Lakers are playing. LeBron, you'll be like, no, LeBron's playing against whatever team. So now that the Lakers, which is my team, now that we lost, I just wanted to see if you would take accountability for the LeBron Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But now it's the Lakers, apparently. It's interesting, but
hey, he couldn't get it done, man. It happens. He can't do it all himself. Not all the time.
So yeah,
not all the time.
All
He's
right,
human
man.
sometimes, but
it wasn't his fault, man. There's just
not at all.
just was.
It's just how it just came down to health.
I mean, like I was freaking. All right, so we played in this. We played in 2 leagues back to back from basically November until March with very little rest and a break, right? And my body has been feeling it all season. And that's like 1 game a week.
Yeah.
No practices, nothing. These guys played a full season, had, I think, a month and a half, 2 months off, maybe. No, they had, like a month and a half because the season started in December.
Like a month.
And had to play 72 games.
Jump right into it.
So, I mean...
And LeBron's like 40.
Yeah, Fool is 36, I think. So, yeah, man, I mean, injuries and father time just won this time. But what are your predictions, man? Like, who do you think's going to make it to the finals? And who do you think's going to come out on top?
Yeah, I think... I'm going to give you 2 answers. I think it's between the Jazz or the Suns. I think they're both going to win their series and meet in the Western Conference. So whoever wins that Western Conference is going to win. But then my other pick, like one individual pick, the Jazz. I think Donovan Mitchell is just on a tear. And I told you this. kind of reminds me of that run D Wade had. What year was that?
06.
06 when he had Shaq. But D Wade clearly was the best player. He won Finals MVP. I think Donovan Mitchell is like on that same run right now. Excuse me. So yeah, man, I'm going with the Jazz. I think Rudy Gobert is like he really impacts the game like no one else in the league defensively. And then you got shooters around him. Jordan Clarkson is playing out of his mind. And yeah, it's something's just telling me like it's just gonna be the year that he gets it done. So yeah, I'm going with the Jazz, and if not, somebody out of the West. I'm not a believer in Philly. They're up 2-1. They still could lose their series. Not a believer in Giannis. Not sold on the Nets yet. I mean, they can score, but I'm just not a believer. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. Now that you talk about it, they kind of remind me of the
Mavs.
Of the Mavs, yeah. I was gonna say 2011 Mavs.
I mean, they play really good basketball, and they can defend, dog. They can defend.
They remind me of
Joe Ingles, like super crafty. He can shoot at a high level.
high IQ.
Yeah, they look really good.
Conley's been hurt. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
so is he gonna
hurt.
be back? And if he, to me,
I don't know. I don't. It's
even,
one of those where I don't know if they even need him.
I was gonna say
honestly.
if he comes back, that might actually hurt him. I mean, not that like he as a player can't help, but when you get in a rhythm, it kind of happened to your team, your junior year. I'm not gonna call out names or anything like that.
Oh
but
yeah.
Y'all were on a good little run, and then one of y'all starters came back, and
took some adjusting too.
And he came back in what, regionals?
No, it was districts.
Districts, yeah. It takes time to get back. So, and playoff intensity is different.
Yeah,
it's very
and
different.
There's fans back now.
Yeah,
there's fans back, like full capacity.
I feel like the Jazz,
like
the Jazz,
the Suns aren't winning. I don't think they're winning that Lakers series in the bubble.
No,
but the fact that they had fans and it was rocking.
Yeah,
like it was lit in there. It was lit in there. In the bubble, I don't know if they're winning that series against the Lakers, even without AD.
Yeah, it definitely would have been tougher. Just because those young dudes.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it was like the opposite of the Heat last year, where like they fed off of the energy from the crowd. Cam Johnson.
What's the other guy from Villanova? Bridges.
Yep.
Yeah, they're playing really well. I like in Booker, and I said this too. We might be seeing like that leap from Booker as far as like him becoming like top 5. We might be on that, like, okay, he's here. He's got everything in his bag when it comes to scoring. And then you add in the fact that he has a point guard now in Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Who I think should have been the MVP. And the MVP shouldn't be a regular season award.
It's whack. It's whack to me. The way it's voted it's been whack for a long time.
Let's decide that after the trophy's been, the team's been crowned.
How many MVPs? How many people have won MVP and a ring in the same year? Like in the last however many years. I don't think it's happened.
Did Tim Duncan get one? Or David Robinson? I feel like
maybe David Robinson, but that's what makes Jordan the lead. Not to like veer off, but the fool would win MVP.
How many MVPs did he have? 6? No, he didn't have that many. He only has like 3, I think.
Nah, he has more than 3.
4? Look that up.
Yeah, he has at least 5, I think. But
which is crazy because you should have every year you win a championship. You should have been the freaking MVP.
Yeah, to win MVP in the regular season, make it to the championship, win and get Finals MVP. That's like rare air. You know what I'm saying? So, Nuggets are done. They're not.
Yeah, 5 times.
Yeah, they're not winning. It's tough.
LeBron got 4.
My gut is saying the Nets. Kevin Durant's my favorite player, and
I'm just not.
I don't love it. I don't love it, but I just
kudos to them if they can pull that off in year one, like putting that team together. I mean, that's great. But yeah,
it's such an offensive driven league, man. That like,
I'll tell you what, they play the Bucks tonight.
Right now, the game may be over actually. Yeah, it might be over. Yeah, check on that score. The Suns,
the Bucks are up 15. They got to get past the Bucks because I think they're making some adjustments. Granted, they're at home, so that helps. But yeah, we'll see.
A big adjustment is taking Giannis off of Kevin Durant because they've been putting PJ Tucker.
Yeah,
on him.
no, for sure.
And he's low and he's strong, and that's
he'll talk a little bit, get him off his game.
Yeah, Giannis, man, like he doesn't want that smoke, man. We've seen what happens when Kevin Durant has him guarding him. He's just different. I want to say the Suns getting to the championship just because I think CP3.
Yeah, and that's where
But my thing is if he is healthy, I have them going to the championship.
Yeah,
I do.
I can't argue that because I think it may be time for him to get one. Like that's just how the world works sometimes, man.
To me, them and the Jazz they don't have any, from like a role perspective, they don't really have any holes. Like they have a primary defender, they have an elite scorer.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys who are just 3-and-D guys, and they have toughness.
Yeah.
Like Jay Crowders, guys like him.
Yeah, Jay Crowder was hitting everything in that Lakers series, and wouldn't hit nothing when he was in Cleveland.
You know how I feel about basketball NBA players with dreads. I don't think they're usually not good scorers. But I gotta give credit.
He was hitting everything.
Yeah, that was just off. Like that was off LeBron's disrespect when he backed him. When he
yeah.
That was just off that. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be Nets Suns, and I just think
I would like that.
I just think that the Nets just have too much, man.
And it's also it's the Jazz. Like Utah is boring. They play well. I mean,
they're due a championship.
Yeah,
this off of what Jordan
that's
did.
What I'm saying.
This off what Jordan did. They're
and that's what I'm
one.
saying. It's like there's a storyline that like comes into play when it comes to this type of stuff. Like, I think the Nets have to go through it first for them to just walk in, put this team together, and just win. But I mean, what are the Clippers are down 2-1? Oh no, they tied it.
They tied it.
I mean, yeah, we gotta watch out for the Clippers too. Because I thought they were done for sure against the Mavericks, but we'll see. We'll see, man. I honestly thought I was gonna be disengaged since LeBron was gone, but it's still good basketball.
It may even be better just because
there's more parity.
There's a element of unpredictability.
Yeah,
because it's like, well, LeBron's. It's like when
LeBron's not just going to the at least the Eastern or Western Conference Finals,
right?
And you know what he's gonna do.
Exactly. Last thing I'll say, man, is every team in the playoffs has a Kobe protege in a way. Because if you remember, with the Hawks, he took Trae Young under his wing and taught him some stuff. He did a whole Kobe detail. Jordan Clarkson, Kyrie, Paul George, and Kawhi were in contact with Kobe a good amount.
I feel like everyone, man. That just shows how dope of a person he was and a professional he was to get back like that. Because I don't think Jordan did that type of stuff.
He was very selective. Like Kobe was his main mentee, but it just wasn't.
It wasn't as dispersed.
I don't think he made a concerted effort like Kobe did.
Probably not.
It was more so.
Jordan You're not the nicest guy.
I'm not the nicest. I'm not the nicest guy.
You're not?
When it comes to basketball, you got off the court. Off the court, yeah, you know. But
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's off the court now. Jordan, yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's mentored some people.
Nah, he's a jerk.
Speaking of Jordan, we didn't touch on it. You follow the Call Me Brown stuff? Andrew, you saw that?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a great topic.
Here's the thing.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah, I think so. Just to give some background, Kwame Brown was number one pick out of high school. 7-footer, had all this upside, and he got drafted by the Wizards when Michael Jordan was on the team. And I think Michael Jordan pretty much made the pick. So, this guy, again, number one pick, a lot of upside, but it just didn't come into fruition. And, he was labeled throughout his career like the biggest bust in NBA history, given that, one, you got the Jordan stamp, and two, you're a number one pick. But it just didn't work out. And he ended up having a pretty long career,
like 11 years.
11 years. But again, he was just labeled as this guy's the biggest bust in NBA history. But finally, man, it got to a point where Kwame started to speak out, and with him doing so, he was coming at everybody, like Stephen A. Smith, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Jamel Hill, the entire media. And he made some valid points of just saying, one, I was a 18-year-old kid, and, I'm playing under Jordan, the best player ever, and we all know who Jordan is as a competitor. He's a jerk.
Yeah, he was borderline mentally abusive.
Yeah, he's a jerk. And you got this kid who, he's coming into a league with grown men. You got to instill confidence in this kid early. But instead, he was criticized and scrutinized. And like you said, borderline bullied. And that
he was bullied. He was bullied,
yeah. And that pretty much, put him in a downward trajectory as far as his career, his confidence. But he finally, was able to speak on it. And yeah, he's saying some wild stuff. Particularly saying how we shouldn't be, talking about young black people who, when you think about it, this guy played in the NBA. He achieved a feat that a very small percentage of people,
less than 1% of basketball players.
Right. And yeah, it was interesting just to hear his point of view. Again, I'm not going to get into what he was saying, but I think he had a point, man. Especially in our black community, man. For some reason, we have this and this, we can get into this because it kind of correlates into black fatherhood.
Yeah.
But there's this
just thinking that
extreme, just standard that I feel like black people have to live up to
amongst each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that's why we'll joke and say, man, this dude shouldn't be in the NBA. Well, it's well, he made it there, and he's not a bum if he's playing at in a starting five. You'd be picking on certain dudes.
Yeah, I said Tristan Thompson is awful.
This guy be killing Tristan Thompson.
And I'm better than him, but I'm not stupid.
Not the best example on Father's Day either.
Yeah, true. He's a wild man.
Not the best example on Father's Day.
But you get the point.
Yeah. But nah, man. There's just been so much that's happened, throughout our break that I forgot about.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was not one of the plans.
And even
we don't, we go with the flow, man. So
Stephen A. he clapped back at him, and was coming at him from a playing standpoint. But
he caught a lot of flack for that, actually. A lot of people were like,
Stephen
"Yo,
A?
yeah," they're like, "Yo, you're a clown for doing that."
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
And
saw that.
I
Yeah,
kind of
it's basically like a bloopers.
yeah.
It's basically like a bloopers. But he did. Kwame came at him and was like, "Yo, like, we go to Seattle and box." Like he and he's calling him certain names, but I mean it would be dope for them to like sit down and talk it out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's corny. It's all corny in my opinion. Like I'm not. Certain people shouldn't really be in the media, dog. Like I'm not. For me, I'm not about to just be talking about someone's kid like that. Again, he was a kid, but when you're at a certain stage and, that industry is involved around your play on the court, you're up to get criticized. So, but there's a way about it. There's a way of doing it, with class and not belittling someone. But
yeah, he called him a bum. I mean, I think part of it is generational, right? Because we live in an age where we really understand the effects that words have on people's mental health. Whereas, like, Stephen A. grew up, and I'm just using him as an example, but, like, he grew up in freaking New York, which is New York and Philly are probably the most, like, disrespectful, critical cities when it comes to just people, especially in sports. I'm not giving Stephen A. pass, but I agree with you, and you talked about how it kind of parallels with Black fatherhood. If you think about it, how many outlets, how many platforms, just society, like people in society in general, are uplifting Black boys specifically? There aren't that many.
no.
There aren't that many. And not that, like, it happens in other communities necessarily, but you see positive examples. You see, you see things in the media, you see things in the world that are, positive images of people who look like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're if you're not a minority, or maybe you're another type of minority. But, like, we have to take that responsibility as Black parents, but specifically Black men, like you said, to instill confidence into our young boys, the right type of confidence.
Right.
So, and I don't think his father was in his life.
Yeah.
Because he talks about how he got his mom. He got his mom a crib and stuff like that. So
your mama's son or something like that.
So Jordan, looking at the whole situation that this kid as a human being and not, and here's a problem. Like, Jordan looked at his teammates as chess pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I need to push them and move them to get to my ultimate goal of winning a championship, right? Now, if you look at his teams, dog, like, how many rookies played with Jordan? And on his championship runs, this dude Scott Burrell was one.
I don't know, but I mean, there wasn't a lot.
A lot of them were old, like they were older dudes. Like, how many people, like, just look at his roster, championship roster.
I mean, Jordan wanted to be around older people in general.
Yeah, and I see why, and it made sense. But, like, look at his championship rosters. How many people were still playing after he retired? There weren't that many. You had Ron Harper, who played, Steve Kerr, Pippen. Rodman kept playing for maybe one or 2 years, but yeah, my point is he was used to being around, like, people his age, and he should have looked at this as an opportunity to really take this kid under his wing.
Yeah,
so I
hopefully
really,
he's learned from it, because he's got. I mean, obviously with him being an owner. For the Charlotte Hornets, like, you're drafting every year, and you have a chance to touch these young rookies, LaMelo, some other guys. So I hope he's learned from that situation, because and Kwame had potential, dog.
yeah,
Like, he had talent, but again, man, Dad my dad's talked about this on his podcast. You know, just the power of the tongue, man, and how you speak to people and what you put out, and the energy you put out is real, man.
Yeah,
it can have a lasting effect on people. So you gotta be mindful of what you say and how you say it, how you deliver it, like, because it can ruin some stuff.
And you think about like the platform that Jordan had. Like, obviously, this kid's coming in looking up to you, right? And Austin and I, we're not some freaking, basketball superstars that everyone knows about. But we've had examples in pickup where, like, young boys who saw us playing growing up, they get to high school and they're playing pickup with us. A lot of times they're freaking nervous and they're afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And, I've had to get, and you got it on me a couple times because you're like, yo, like, he's not there yet. Like, just chill.
Like, this dude Marshall be yelling at, like, he be yelling at Katie if it's like, dog, Katie hasn't touched a basketball ever in her life. Like, you expect her to be Chris Paul? It's like, no, man. Like, it's on you because you're the expert at it to put that person in the right place and blah blah blah. And there's a way, and if they have done something that they know better, there's a way of delivering it to them. But he's gotten better at it, for sure.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress, for sure. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, there's been situations where, young kids that aren't used to playing with this level of talent, they're afraid to make a mistake. So imagine, like, Kwame coming into the Wizards. He's already like, man, I really want to impress this guy. So he's probably already super nervous when he's playing.
Yeah.
And then you have Jordan bullying you. I mean, the kid, he was literally depressed. You know what I mean?
18-year-old kid.
He was literally depressed.
I can't imagine being an 18-year-old kid playing with grown men and with all this expectation. Then you got the media. And you probably you didn't come from much.
No,
and all of a
didn't.
sudden, all this stuff is just put on you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I would consume all that.
Yeah, man. So I think that's.
But kudos to him, man.
Yeah.
He seems like he's doing well. I just it would be powerful to me if they, like, him, Stephen A, or anybody else, like, and I think Matt Barnes would even, like, told him, like, yo, come on our podcast, like, we can talk about it.
Jordan, he needs to have a sit down with Jordan and Stephen A.
Oh yeah, I bet. And he probably needs therapy too. I don't know if he's ever tapped into that.
Honestly, he's probably gotten it. That's probably why he's comfortable speaking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a great topic. I'm glad you brought it up because it is a good segue into what I wanted to get into, which is the importance of fathers and father figures. Again, look, I'm not trying to be controversial, but there's a lot of stuff going on in this world, and
Federico.
like, the definition of a man literally has changed. Like literally, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, literally it's changed, and figuratively it's also changed into, like, what manhood and masculinity is, and the toxic masculinity and all these buzzwords that sound good and try to diminish the importance of a man in this world. But the reality is, if you look at societies where there aren't men present or there aren't good men present, there is chaos. It goes back to biblical times. It goes back to like, we were literally created to lead families
and still order.
And exactly.
And still order. That's what it comes down to.
Like, there's a reason why men have certain qualities, physical attributes, strength, because that's what we were designed to have. Not that it doesn't minimize, it doesn't mean that women aren't strong, and, like, everybody has a role. But that, I feel like that is been jumbled.
It's been misconstrued.
So, I mean, you are a father.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd love for you to kind of talk about how that's changed your perspective on the importance of fatherhood. And you know, if you want to get into your story, feel free. But you know, at least like how do you look at the importance of fatherhood?
Clock in family, Aham here. Appreciate you all for making it this far into the episode. If you enjoy our content, we've got something special for you. Check out patreon.com/clockin or download the Patreon app that's spelled Patreon and search Clock In the Podcast. You'll have a chance to become a subscriber of the podcast for access to bonus episodes, merchandise discounts, and much more, only at $5.10 a month. The link is also in the podcast description. All right, I'll shut up now and let y'all get back to it. Peace. Yeah, it's the most important thing for me in my life. Like, you know, it's the most important job for me to deliver on, right? Yeah, no, I haven't shared my story in fatherhood, but I think it's the right time. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, I didn't find out I was a father until 3 months after. And as you can imagine, you know, it was tough for me. And, you know, it came out of left field, right? Like, no one ever just expects to get a call or a text and be like, hey, you might be the father. So yeah, it was tough, man. You know, I had to literally like within the drop of a dime, just change my life and change a lot of things, all for the good. But yeah, man, when it comes to the importance of it, like, I think it got to a point where I just was realizing, like, look, you know, one, when I did find out, it was a no-brainer for me to step up and, like, okay, this is my responsibility now. But, like, as I progressed and started to, you know, process it more, it came down to the point for me where it's like, this is literally life or death. And I'll get into the importance of it. Like, if I'm not in this kid's life, he could go down a path that literally could lead him to death. So it sounds drastic, but that's just how I was thinking, man. Like, yo, what type of man, calling myself a man, would I be if I'm not in this kid's life? And yeah, man, it was literally like life or death. So it was a no-brainer. Like, when I got the test results and found out, I was in my office in my little cubicle, and I left like immediately to go see the baby and see his mother. So yeah, man, like, literally when I found out, I've been there ever since, and I'll be there forever. So yeah, man, it's just so important for men to be there, because again, it instills order. And look, like, when it's all said and done for me, what am I gonna have? You know, and to have him be a part of me and you know, have the opportunity to raise him to become a man that is impactful to his family. Hopefully one day he'll have a family and just be a good citizen. Like, for me to be a part of that, that's what it's about at the end of the day. So it's vital. It's vital for men to be there. It's vital for black men to be there, because as black men, we've inherited trauma, man. We've inherited a lot of trauma that is in us, and that's why it's important for us to get help. Like, I'm already looking into therapy. One because of that, but also because I just had a kid come out of nowhere, right? That's gonna affect me in some way, shape, or form. I don't care who you are. Like, that's gonna affect you.
Yeah, and a lot of it will probably be subconscious.
Yeah.
And until you go to something like therapy,
Right.
you're probably not even gonna realize
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. So yeah, man, it's a super powerful story. You know, going back to my mom, I talked about this last episode. She had a dream that there was a kid out there, but she couldn't touch the baby. And when I told my mom about, you know, hey, I have a son, she started crying. I started crying because she was like, yeah, I had this dream, and it all makes sense now. So
And she hasn't had a dream since. Since she found
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Because it was more than once that she had it.
Yeah,
I remember her saying that.
for sure. So yeah, no, I think it was appropriate to tell that story because a lot of people were like, "Yo, what? Like, where did this come from?" So that's the story of it. But the biggest blessing and something I'm most proud of, man, because he's a great kid. Like, he's probably just like me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you know, he's got the 2 dimples. So when I found that out and she told me he had dimples, like, oh crap, like, he's mine. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
His weight was 7'7". My birthday is July 7th, 7'7". So, you know, all the pieces just came together, man. But yeah, man, just being there is the most important thing. And now it's up for me to set an example and show them how to become a man, because this is for the ladies. You can't teach your sons how to become men. It's got to come from men.
Thank you.
There's no ifs or buts about it. Like, that's just not what God put you on this earth to do. So you have to let your fathers father their children, especially men, because they just don't gravitate towards women when it comes to certain stuff. That it comes from a man. So I mean, you talked about it, the importance of you know, and how biblical it is, and a man being there. And yeah, man, we have to continue to just be there for our kids, because we know the impact. We had a father in our lives, and we know how impactful that was.
Yeah, and we're different than a lot of people
in
our community.
That's why, I mean, I've had friends and coworkers say, like, oh, I would have been pissed, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I mean, what am I going to be pissed about? Like, I did the act. The kid is here. Like, it's a blessing.
You know why? Because they can't party and do all those things.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. Selfishly,
it's about priorities.
You know, it definitely deters your life selfishly, but that stuff isn't important anymore. So, yeah, man, it's again a huge change in my life, but the best thing that's ever happened to me. So, yeah, man, I urge all fathers, and it's funny, man. Like, you know, Marcus Berry's been on the podcast. He unfortunately lost his father, who wasn't really in his life, and I can imagine, like, you know, shout out to Marcus, but I can imagine he's probably like, man, I wish I had a better relationship with him, because the love is gonna be there. Like, that's your father. I don't care what he did to you, if he left you. Love is still going to be there.
Right.
Like, there's just something genetically that you can't do.
Right.
So it's important, man. It's important to be there. And then, you know, you have to show them, you know, what it's like to be a man, and how to treat certain people, how to treat your mother with respect. You know, it's the most important thing that we can do as men. So yeah, I know that was a long rant, but
no, that was perfect, bro.
Yeah,
that was perfect, man. And
round of applause to all the fathers, man. If I get my drops to work.
Yeah, and to you, bro, because I'm proud of you personally, and
I don't know why my drops ain't working.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's all good.
Oh, I know why.
Yeah, what I will say is, there we go.
Shout out to all the fathers, man. And me sharing that story, like that has nothing to do with me. Like, I honestly, I mean, I could have shared it a year ago, but me sharing it is to hopefully if someone hears it, man, it's like, yo, and you may have a child out there that you don't have a relationship. You have to establish that relationship immediately. And again, and people were like, man, you should have been pissed if she didn't tell you after 3 months. I'd rather it be 3 months than 18 months. It's perspective. That's how you have to look at it. If it was 18 months, I wouldn't have seen his first steps. And I have that on my camera. Wouldn't have seen his first baseball hit. I wouldn't have seen his first basket. But people just have a lack of perspective, man, when it comes to certain things. So yeah, man, shout out to all the fathers. Shout out to my young rider, man. Shout out to his mother. She's doing a great job in parenting him, and we're in a co-parent situation that's been working. So I pray that we can continue to do it, man, because again, it's not about us. It's not about what happened in the past. It's about this kid that we have to raise, and that's in any household. Honestly, if you have children, keep that adult stuff to adults. Like, and I'm not picking on anybody, but I see a lot of times mothers, man, they pour their stuff on their kids. They talk about their husband or spouse to their kids. You should never do that.
Or even, if their father's not in their life, like, if
I would never. You should never do that.
Yeah.
Keep the parent and adult stuff to the adults.
Yep.
Keep the kid stuff to the kids. You should never mingle the two, because that's only going to create, just a bad image on. Again, it all connects, man. Like,
you don't want people picking sides or putting them in a position where they have to pick sides.
Exactly.
And when they're old enough, if things aren't right, you can have an honest conversation and go about it that way. But nah, you're spot on, bro. Like,
yeah,
which is why I mean you've set an example for me on when that time comes, how to deal with your son in a way that is loving but also firm. Like, you never really, you don't yell at him ever. I mean, he's a good kid. He doesn't really give you reasons to often.
Nah.
But
I just don't do the tantrum. That's the only thing. I just let him cry. Like, he's gonna be smiling and playing in like 3 seconds. So have your little tantrum. Like, you're a kid, dog. Like, life isn't hard for you.
It's a fact.
It isn't. So if you didn't get your the ball or something, like, oh, that's the worst thing that's happened to you in your life right now. I'm fine. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, that's spot on, because and again, I'm not picking on women or mothers, but there's a certain gene in them that wants them to.
They're nurturers.
To nurture, save the day, and
that's fine.
Which is fine. Yeah, there's a time and a place, but when it's just you're put in a position where you have to play both roles, which is really tough. And let the fathers be quote unquote bad guys sometimes. When it comes to look like.
No, you're going to bed.
You're going to bed. Like, this is what's going on. Yeah. I don't care if you're mad at me. I know what's best for you, and this is what's going to happen. It's especially in situations like that aren't as ideal. Sometimes there may be certain guilt, and you don't want, you're thinking about that. Your kid doesn't know. Your kid isn't thinking about like the adult stuff. He doesn't know, or she doesn't know. So yeah, man. Like I said, I've learned a lot from you. Living with you and seeing how you interact with Ryder, and as well as my other brothers. Walt, Brandon, obviously my dad. So yeah, man. I have a great list of men that I can pull from. one of the things I wanted to get into also is like, how can we, in your opinion, how do you think we can teach young men and prepare them to be fathers on the road? Because I feel like we're not taught that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's just kind of like what you see is what you're going to duplicate. But school doesn't prepare you. A lot of times, even the church doesn't prepare you. So, I mean, in your opinion, man, like, what are some things that maybe you wish you would have been taught that or that you were taught that maybe people aren't learning, just more broadly, if that makes sense?
I think, the first thing is just to be there. Like, you have to be present.
No, let me ask you, when you say be there, not just physically, right? You're talking about like,
yeah,
because
yeah,
a lot of fathers, they're there, but they come home after work and they're not.
No, it's true.
So I just wanted to clarify.
I was gonna.
If you meant
I'm
like,
glad you said that, because I was gonna say that. Like, again, with my situation, I'll keep it a buck with y'all. Like, when I first was into it, it felt like charity work. Like, I wasn't a part of any of the process. This, was someone that, we weren't really into it like that. So it literally just felt like charity, right? So I knew, and there's some animosity. Again, like, this is just me unfiltered. Like, this is real stuff. But I knew that I can't project that onto the baby or the kid. So thankfully, man, I have my mother there.
Of course, it's the fire truck always.
Exactly.
There's always a fire emergency when we record.
Yeah, only on Sundays, man. I swear. I couldn't project a certain energy on this kid because, again, I know, the goal is to be a best father to this kid. Like, anything else outside of that doesn't matter.
Yep.
So if people come to me with, BS or like drama, like, I don't play drama. I've never been that type of person. Like, miss me with that stuff. If this is on the After Dark, I'd probably say another word. But we'll say that for the After Dark.
And it's Sunday, so
and it's Sunday, praise the Lord. But yeah, man, I don't do drama because I understand the bigger picture. I understand the importance of being a father, being a black father in this society, right? So, there's a certain energy that you can't project on your kids. So what I would do sometimes, man, I would, thankfully I have my mother. Like, I would just ask her to hold him or something. I just go, just go somewhere and just not be around him. You know what I mean? Like, because I have to come in with a certain energy that's affectionate, right? Like, I can't come in with my, it's just like anything, man. If I come in and, for example, like yesterday with the freaking server, he had terrible attitude.
Yeah,
he had terrible, and I didn't want to be there. Your energy it spreads like a disease, man. So I can't come in. If you look at Ryder, he's the happiest kid a lot. That's because I'm always silly. I'm always playing with them, and I was a happy baby too. So I'm sure that played a role. But there's a certain energy that you have to have around these kids, man. And I don't ever want to have any negative energy around him when he didn't do anything. Now, if he was wilding out, the energy's I'm gonna match that energy. It's gonna be different, right? But again, mentally, you have to be there. You have to be in the right space mentally to be around these kids because they pick up on this stuff. Babies have a really good discernment. Again, what people don't. Again, I don't want to pick on mothers or anything, but they're smarter than you think. I've seen these kids kind of, and again, they're cute, whatever, and they, have their moms, wrapped around their finger, man. But that's because they're smart. They know how to get certain stuff from their mother opposed to their dad. But that crap doesn't work on me.
Nah, I mean you run the house.
I run
Ryder
the house.
doesn't run the house. I
No,
see a
I'm
lot
not-
of
I'm not about to let
a lot of kids are running households.
Yeah, I'm not about to let a 2-year-old run my household that I pay bills for. Like that I literally everything in that room is, because of me. Like, no, heck no. That's disrespect to me. Obviously, you don't know that yet, but there's a reason why when we were growing up, and Dad would be like, "Do you pay the bills here?" You don't.
A lot of times that was directed.
And it was
at
probably
me.
Marshall. Yeah,
Directed at
it was
me,
probably,
'cause
it was probably
I-
Marshall.
I mean, I've wanted to smoke at a young age, okay? And
Facts.
yeah, I
But
mean,
nah,
I would say stuff.
there's a certain, again, like the word we use was order. There's a certain order that I have to uphold, and then as he gets to a certain age, he's gonna have to do that same thing. Because again, we're trying to develop leaders, dog. God put us on this earth first to run the household and to be leaders. Again, I'm raising leaders. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to raise no followers. I'm not trying to raise kids that are, I don't like to use the word soft, but, aren't.
Look, I don't
Yeah,
care. There's some soft kids out here. I don't care. I don't care what they say not to say. This
If you're gonna
this era.
if you're gonna have my last name and be a part of my bloodstream, you're gonna be raised a certain way. You know what I mean? So, you got to take pride into that, man. And I don't even remember what the question was.
Just keep going, bro. Forget about it. Yeah. You're on a roll. Keep
and then
going.
I feel like another thing is every kid is different, man. Like, when I have other kids, I probably can't father them the way I can father Ryder. It's like a player, and you're a coach. You can't coach a certain player. The same way you can coach a kid who has it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to be tailored in a way that fits that kid. Because again, they're not gonna respond a certain way. If I do know, okay, Ryder might be a little bit more sensitive in this aspect, opposed to here, then I'm gonna direct it in a certain way. I'm gonna deliver it a certain way, right? So yeah, it's just about knowing your children and studying habits, knowing how they respond to certain things, and I can guarantee you, my mom and our dad knows, like, all right, I can't say certain things to this person a certain way. I've got to deliver it this way.
Yeah, I was definitely, and this isn't to like put you out there or anything, but I was more strong-willed and hard-headed. So, Mom, I joke about like everybody hates Chris stuff. Like I joke about it, but like Mom had to be tougher with me because of my hard-headedness and my smart and
She just matched your energy.
Yeah, she knew that you were a little bit, when you were younger, you're a little bit more sensitive to yelling and certain things. Yeah. So she wouldn't go off on you the way that she would go off on me, because you went off on me, I'm gonna say something back to you. That's just how it was.
Right.
If you're gonna, it was a little bit different with you. And the same with like Walter and Brandon and Maria, like you said, there's no cookie cutter.
No, there's no
DNA or anything like that.
There's no guide to parenthood, man. You just gotta find what works with you. You gotta be, demonstrative when you need to, set certain rules and guidelines. Because again, it's your house, man. It's your household. And here's another one. I don't care who's making a certain amount of money. The man is the leader of the household. Ask Monique. She said it. So
ladies, look. Again, this is gonna be a Rico moment, okay?
I got one too.
Yeah, like a lot of y'all are looking for the right man and looking for the future husband and goals and all those things, but you want to lead in every aspect of the relationship. You won't let the man lead. You won't let the man lead, and I will tell you this: if you don't let the man, if he's capable of leading, which is on us, if he's capable of leading, and you want to take the reins, no, is a word Kevin Samuels would say. I'm not equating it. No high value or good man who has things together is going to want to deal with that. They're not going to want to deal with that. They're not going to do. And no man wants to feel like they're being mothered. So when you take the lead, or you overstep certain things, or you feel like, whether you're trying to help or whether you just think, I can do it better, you're becoming a mother, and no one wants to be mothered. So
I have a mother.
So you have to be willing
Marva
to.
Von Hamilton.
Yeah, she's a great mom. I don't need another one.
Marva Maria, I'm sorry.
So if you want to track that man, one, you need to have other things right so that you at least get that man's attention and interest. But if it's a man who's capable of leading, you have to let him lead, or he's not going to stay. And a lot of you have pushed away good men and then called him weak, or he can't handle that I'm blah 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 blah. No, you're gonna be single forever, or you're gonna marry a weak man. And if you guys have sons, you're gonna have weak sons. And that's part of the problem, especially in the black community. We have a lot of weak sons because moms wanted to be the lead when it came to certain things. Okay, so again, ladies, whether you're in a relationship, in a marriage, or trying to find the right one,
put that pride aside.
Like you can't
put that pride aside.
And you have to. I'll give you examples, right? There have been times where, even in our own household, like, not putting mom on blast, but mothers hate to see their kids struggle, right? They will come in and try to save the day. Dad's going to be like, no, he needs to go through that.
Yep.
It's going to help him grow. You're stunting your kid's growth if you mother him or her their whole lives. So
yeah, I've seen it.
This stuff is no joke. It's no joke. And go ahead. I don't want you to lose your thought. Cause
no, I don't even. I'm just going off of you. And again, it's just important that we understand again why God called us to be fathers, right? We didn't get called to be fathers and mothers to post on Instagram.
Please air horn that. Please.
We didn't. Again, yeah. I could get into the bag, but yeah, man, I again, especially when it comes to the black community, right? I see these Kardashians, I see blah 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 having all these mixed babies, which is great, every kid is a blessing, but me as a father, I don't care about that stuff. Again, I care about how can I raise this kid to be a leader of a household. I don't care about, he looks cute in this outfit, whatever, we need to have this cool reveal. That stuff is great for the memories, sure. But like you said, when it comes to a real life situation like I had, where I didn't know I had a kid and I had to literally adjust to that, how is he going to handle that if that happens? Is he going to run away and flee and be like, nah, I'm good? Or is he going to step up?
Yeah.
Think about, I would ask mothers to when they're raising their kids and fathers as well, how is your kid going to adjust to adversity? What is he going to do through adversity? I was raised right because how I responded is a reflection of how I was raised. If I didn't have a father and that happened to me, what do you think I would have done?
I'll give you a prime example.
I would have repeated history.
I'll give you a prime example. Again, no disrespect to my mom. The AAU season where we won one game, or when I was being mistreated in high school by certain coaches, if I would have went to them and said, went to my mom. I'm not saying she would have said this, but I'll say this: there's a higher likelihood that if I said, "Look, I want to quit," or leave another team, or do, she would have been more likely to say yes than my dad, because she does not want to see me in pain, which is understandable.
You're nurtured.
But my dad said straight up, like, look, you played for this team last year. This coach has been good to you. Like, finish out the season. And I had other coaches like, yo, your team is awful. Like, you want to come play with us? But
I was probably one of them.
Yeah,
What
nah,
are you doing?
you fried me the whole summer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, same thing happened to me in college. My junior year, I started off the year good. Things didn't go well. I was ready to go. Like, I literally had other coaches like, yo, we got a spot for Austin. But, again, because I was raised and, that notion of when you start something, you need to finish it, it was an easy decision for me.
yeah,
It was an easy decision for me.
no doubt.
So, again, raise your kids to know how to respond to adversity in the right way, because, man, I heard a story this morning that broke my heart. I'm not gonna share it, but I know how those parents are gonna handle it in the right way, and they're gonna teach their kid how to respond to it in the right way. Because again, man, we can't protect our kids from everything. Like, this is a cruel world, man. And they should know it. It's that cruel until a certain point. But when that point does come, we got to be there, and we got to be ready to answer those questions and prepare them how to deal with this world.
I think one of the best things you could do is you overcome adversity yourself.
Yep.
Be the example. Like,
Cause it's gonna come to a point where I'm probably gonna have to tell Ryder, like, what happened. Like, he may ask me, like, oh, like, what were you like when I first came? I'm gonna be like, I don't know. I was out in the street, dog. I didn't know. Like, it's gonna come to that point.
yeah.
Or this may even be the time where he finds out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to tell him, like, look, son, like, I wasn't there, man. Stuff happens as adults, whatever. But the important thing that you need to know, and the lesson that you need to know from it is, when I found out, when I looked at that paper and saw the results, I went to you within the drop of a dime, immediately, and never looked back since. So, yeah, man, adversity is gonna come your way. And we've had a lot of adversity, specifically in basketball.
Yep.
But, we're still here, man. We're still clocking in. We're still winning championships.
Yep. Always.
And, from a fatherhood standpoint, like, I'm trying to win a championship. And by me winning the championship, that's him, being a stand-up person, being, a man of respect, and a man that hopefully one day will find a wife and can lead the household, man. So again, the Instagram stuff, all that, the cute stuff, like, yeah, it's great, it's cute, but
it doesn't
I know it's bigger than that. It's bigger than being able to post a kid or something, or like do X. And no, like, fatherhood and motherhood it's about duty. It's about duty. Marriage is about duty as well. And I'm not picking on Kevin Samuels or going back to his life, but, like, for better or for worse, man,
it's a role.
it really is. It's a role. It has nothing to do with being happy and goals and all this stuff. Yeah, man, it's about fulfilling a role, and excelling in that, right? So, yeah, that was a lot, man. That was a lot.
Yeah, and you got 10% left on your max, so we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. But nah, like, we need.
What's the time saying? Hit that down arrow. Where are we at? I don't even know what time.
6:30. Oh, as far as
yeah, on the recording. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, man, this was good. That just felt like a little therapy session to like finally like let that loose. Because again, I know a lot of people were like, "Yo, where did this come from?" And I was one of them. Like, where did this come from? Where did this come from? But,
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. There was a time when I saw a picture and I was like, "Yo, he kind of looks like," but I'm not.
Yeah. Like, and I had no idea. It wasn't even it wasn't even in my mind. But
look, a round of applause for yourself, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You dropped a lot of nuggets, man, and that I'm constantly learning from you. A lot of people will learn from this podcast, and I give credit to you for exposing yourself and being vulnerable because I mean that's not an easy thing to talk about, but it's the testimony, and it's a victorious story, and the victory is only going to get even more impactful, man, as Ryder grows and as you grow as a man and father. So
appreciate that.
Gonna wrap up, man, with an announcement, an update for y'all, man. So yeah, as I mentioned, the last 2-3 months during our break, 2 months I guess during our break, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and a lot of blessings, man, challenges, and things that just came out of left field, and life is about how you deal with curveballs, right?
Yeah.
So the big announcement is I found out that I will be a father myself in March of this year, but the baby will be due November 24th.
Let's get it. Let's go. Let's keep it going.
Which is the day before Thanksgiving. Okay, so it's just bad timing on my end. It's terrible timing. So my Thanksgiving will look different, but it'll be worth it. It is a baby boy. It's a baby boy.
It's time to clock in. Yes, sir.
It's a baby boy.
Yes,
so
sir.
Shout out to the Hamilton boys.
Yes, sir, man.
Okay. Look, for those who don't know, there's six grandkids, right? 4 girls and 2 boys. So this will be the third boy when it comes to grandkids. So we gotta, we gotta come back, man.
Yeah.
We gotta come back because the ladies, they've been getting a little cocky.
Yeah,
they've been on a little power trip lately. I'm not really feeling that.
I don't like that energy.
I'm not really feeling it, but no, it's a blessing, man. Like, it was unexpected, I will say that, but
it's life, man.
It's life, yeah, and it's forced me to really grow up in some areas and look at where I need to be better, think about the future. Like, I've been talking to a guy who helps with my finances about like
man, you ain't got
life insurance and college funds, just all those things, man. But I'm about to be 30. Like, where I am in my life, I feel like I'm more prepared to deal with this.
Yeah. That's a blessing for me too. Like, I had a job, I wasn't,
you weren't playing in the UK.
Yeah, like I wasn't out overseas. Like, it all works out in God's timing, man. Honestly.
And thankfully, is with a woman who we've talked a lot about, like, how we would want to raise our kids. Like, we talked about what a future would look like together. Not that, like, if it didn't happen that way, obviously Austin's wasn't that way. Not that it makes the baby less of or more of a blessing than anyone else's. So not trying to minimize that, but yeah, man, baby Hammy's coming out.
Y'all got a name?
We have a first name. Am I allowed to say?
You can.
Okay, so we're gonna name him Ace. Ace means unity, and it's the most powerful card in the deck, man.
That's
you
dope.
know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just a great athlete name. So we're working on the middle name, but Aham 2.0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got another Aham.
Yeah, I like that.
He might be number 10. I might just, might have him.
Hey, homage.
But
What's up,
man, it's a blessing, and a lot of people don't know. Most people don't. Some do, but yeah, Father's Day it means something different for me this year, and it's definitely
You got on your Air
privilege.
Monarchs?
What's up?
You don't got on the Air Monarchs?
I bought 2. So actually, that may be why this is happening.
Yeah, you put it into existence.
I bought 2 pairs of Air Monarchs, right? But not the corny Jones that, like, you know, the dads really wear, like the all black or the white and navy blue. My joints are
You got a nice
fire.
little colorway.
Yeah. I got. I had to you know swag it out a little bit with the colors, but I blame that purchase and my mom because she be foreshadowing stuff. And she asked me in like October, you got any kids that you're not telling me about that are on their way? I'm like, no. This is, and then 4 months later, actually, I do. But yeah, that's it, man. Pray for us, Aaliyah and I, the baby Ace. You know, and he's gonna have a little clock in onesie and stuff like that. So we got to update the clock in apparel for the toddlers, just because of of my guy Ace coming. But yeah, that's it, man. I did want to close with just a suggestion. I started following this page, The Art of Fatherhood.
Okay. What's happening?
Exactly how it's spelled, The Art of Fatherhood, on Instagram. It's a great page. Has a lot of great messages that I really enjoyed. And then there's a book by a good family friend of ours called Onward to Manhood. His name's Eric Elliott.
Finish that.
I need to finish it as well, but when
it's an easy read too.
It is. It's not a super long book, but tap into that. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Shout out to all the fathers and father figures that have been in our lives. Not gonna name names just because we'll always forget somebody, but obviously our dad, Walter Hamilton III, our brothers Walter Hamilton IV and Brandon Hamilton. And, for me, Austin as well. So you have a blessed rest of your day, man. And if you're a father, you really need to clock in every day.
Yes, sir.
Clock in.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Clock in.
We'll see y'all. Shout out to Uncle Wild, man. I know this was special tribute to Uncle Wild, man. You already know.
We on our rustle, our grind and our hustle.
Yes, sir.
But there are others who we're not really putting time, we're not putting work in. We're not clocking in so that we can do what God is calling us to do. Clock in.
I'm out, man. It's hot.
Time to get some food.
Woo! Yeah, we put in work and here's the proof. What you want?
I'm making moves, punching in.
I'm on it too.
I'm in the gym.
I'm in the stew.
It's hunting season.
Where's the food?
We push each other daily, level up.
Cause that's what brothers do.
Clock in.